CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
A moment more than half a century in the making, the Artemis II mission landing safely in the Pacific Ocean earlier tonight, concluding the crew's 10-day voyage to the moon and back. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Local astronaut Jeremy Hansen and his crewmates were extracted from the Orion spacecraft just after 9:30 p.m. Eastern, all reportedly in good health. With more on their return to Earth, here's Joy Malvin.
From a soothing wake-up song in space to a nerve-wracking homecoming, NASA troubleshooting. They changed the re-entry route to make it less dangerous. Only 13 minutes of searing heat as the space capsule Orion hurtled towards the Earth at 40,000 kilometers an hour. Described by the pilot as riding a fireball, the return is harrowing, tough on the body, says retired Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield.
After 10 days of weightlessness, they'll be getting now crushed with 3 or 4 times their weight, where it's hard to even lift your arm up, and it feels like your eyeballs are being crushed with the flames licking around their vehicle.
The first parachute slowing Orion down for a soft splashdown in the Pacific. The Artemis II crew traveled deeper into space than any other humans, collecting scientific data and giving us stunning new celestial images of the moon and planet Earth. Reflecting on it all, Canada's Jeremy Hansen.
We live on a fragile planet in the vacuum in the void of space. Our purpose on the planet as humans is to find joy, to find the joy in lifting each other up by creating solutions together instead of destroying.
And there were unforgettable moments. A moon crater named after Commander Reed Weissman's late wife.
It's a bright spot on the moon, and we would like to call it Carol.
Talking to the Prime Minister.
Canadians are so proud of what you're doing.
The U.S. President.
Congratulations to everybody. I'll see you at the Oval Office.
Fixing a lunar loo.
We definitely have to fix some of the plumbing.
And chasing a floating Nutella jar. On their last day in space, the crew sent messages home.
I just want to look at my daughters, Ellie and Katie, and just say I love you.
Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Police in Sarnia are investigating a fatal shooting. One person is dead and 2 others injured after gunfire broke out at a Lambton College bar early this morning. With the latest on the investigation, here's Brian Bicknell.
Forensic investigators combed the scene at the south side of Lambton College in Sarnia. They're looking for evidence related to a fatal shooting. Police say 20-year-old Dane Nisbet of Sarnia died in hospital after being shot outside the Lion's Den pub on campus. 2 males with him were also shot and sustained non-life-threatening injuries. It happened just before 1 Friday morning.
Given the severity of the incident, we activated our emergency response team and a K-9 team to conduct an extensive search of the building and the surrounding area.
According to Lambton College, an event run by the Student Council was taking place at the pub at the time of the shooting. Police say they don't believe the school was targeted, nor was the shooting politically motivated.
We're not ready to say what the relationship between the potential suspects and the victims are. We did touch on the multiple victims are known to each other, but we will not be commenting at this point what the relationship with the suspects are.
Police could not say whether the victims are students, but Dane Nisbet is well known in the local hockey community.
Sarnia is a small community. What makes it more difficult is that we know these people. We know a lot of people in Sarnia, so it makes it very difficult for our officers to have to respond to these types of incidents at our singular college with the students that go there.
Of course, no classes here today as the college made the decision to close the campus under the circumstances. Officials here declined our request for an interview, saying they're focused instead on supporting students and community members affected by this tragedy. In a statement posted to social media, the college called the loss a profound tragedy. We extend our deepest condolences to the individual's family, loved ones, and friends, and to everyone affected by this staggering loss. Our thoughts are with everyone impacted by this senseless act of violence. Police say no arrests have been made and no weapons recovered. The suspects fled the scene before they arrived. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
London police say they've arrested one person and are looking for a second suspect following a shooting and kidnapping. According to police, two men forced two other men into a car last Saturday, then drove them to an East London motel. They say at one point a gun was fired and one of the suspects fled. Police say the two victims were specifically targeted, and according to police, one of the suspects was arrested in the Toronto area Wednesday. The other is still on the loose. Multiple agencies are investigating a death inside the Maple Leaf Foods poultry processing plant in London. An emailed statement attributed to a company spokesperson called the death a tragic incident, but gave no details on how the person died, only indicating the incident happened inside the facility on Thursday. London Police, the provincial coroner, and the Labour Ministry are all investigating. The company's statement also indicated an internal investigation will take place as well. London Police have said they believe the death is accidental. Leadership at the Toll Puddle Housing Co-op are pushing back against a city report recommending the building be declared a project in difficulty. The board president says the plan fails to address persistent maintenance costs and the systemic failures impacting public housing. Daryl Newcomb reports.
A recently repaired and painted stairwell inside the Toll Puddle Housing Co-op already vandalized with more threatening graffiti and smashed drywall. It was work to address deficiencies identified in orders from City Hall and the fire department that'll have to be done again.
This week was particularly bad, and it's about $6,000 of damage.
Board Chair Jody Phoenix says the complexity of the challenges facing the building were not addressed in City Hall's report going to a committee next week. City staff recommend declaring the building a project in difficulty, allowing them to step in to oversee and fund essential repairs to the building that contains 109 rent geared to income and 23 market rent apartments.
We were a little taken back. Their recommendations aren't very clear. They talk about some governance issues that are factually incorrect.
The city's plan would make available $877,000 from a municipal reserve fund and senior government funding. However, Phoenix suggests the report doesn't address long-term financial stability or the other housing providers in London facing similar challenges.
There's no funding for operational costs, increased operational costs. And the other thing that it's missing is the acknowledgement that this is a systematic problem, not just a problem at Toll Puddle.
In their report, city staff warn intervention and corrective action are necessary to prevent further deterioration and to stabilize the organization. But Phoenix argues City Hall was kept apprised of the challenges all along, but took insufficient action.
When they say they've just now become aware of the problem, that is absolutely not factual. We have been asking for these same things for a year and a half.
Phoenix will be bringing her concerns to the Community and Protective Services Committee on Monday. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Provincial police say one person is dead after crashing an e-scooter early this morning in Ingersoll. They're issuing a warning to other riders, noting the increase in scooter and e-bike popularity. With more, here's Lawrence DeLone.
E-bikes and e-scooters have become a popular new way to get around communities across Ontario.
Something to do, good for your knees and joints, being out and about, and good cheap transportation as well, especially with gas prices.
And while convenient, OPP warned they've seen an increase in electric rideable accidents, most recently in Ingersoll.
On Friday, April 10th, just shortly after 1:30 this morning, the Oxford OPP, along with fire and paramedic services, responded to Charles Street East in the town of Ingersoll for a report of a single scooter-styled e-bike that was involved in a crash.
OPP say a 56-year-old male was operating the e-bike when he left the road, struck a pole, and suffered serious life-threatening injuries.
That person was transported to a hospital for treatment, and I'm sad to say that person was pronounced deceased by attending physicians.
A 2025 report from the Canadian Institute for Health Information showed a 32% increase in reported e-scooter hospitalizations over 1 year. OPP say while micro-mobility devices like e-scooters and e-bikes are appealing, they can be deadly without proper safety safety measures.
If you can, wear some good reflective clothing, obviously a helmet.
Matt Long, owner of E-Ride London, says his products are equipped with built-in safety features designed to reduce risks.
They all have a brake light. So when you hit, you're just like a car, a brake light, and they have a running light in the back as well for the dark. They have reflective parts on the pedals.
Long says paying attention to when and where you are riding can make all the difference when it comes to safety.
In the daytime, it's a little safer, but you know, if you can stay on the bike paths, that's a good thing.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
A local tow truck operator was acquitted today after he was accused of killing a pedestrian almost 4 years ago. With more on the judge's reasoning in finding him not guilty, here's Nick Paparella.
56-year-old Garnet Pridey just finished grabbing some fast food when he stepped onto a parking lot at Wellington and Southdale in South London. In a matter of seconds, he was struck and killed by a tow truck, which left the scene. Pridey died from extensive trauma to the skull. Charged with dangerous driving causing death and failing to remain at the scene causing death, 26-year-old Abdul Kazoon testified at his trial that he never saw Pridey on that July afternoon in 2022. Despite testimony during the trial that the tow truck was moving quickly, in her ruling, Justice Patricia Moore said, "I do not find Mr. Kazoon's speed of 11 to 14 kilometers an hour was inherently dangerous." She added, "I find that there were no issues with Mr. Kazoon's driving before or after the collision." In the end, the judge found Kazoon not guilty on both charges, saying, "In criminal proceedings, the issue is not simply whether the accused was negligent in the way he drove his vehicle. In this case, I must ask myself whether I'm satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Kazoon's failure to keep a proper outlook and see Mr. Pridey before the collision or immediately after amounted to a marked departure from the standard of care." A relieved Kazoon left the courthouse with his family. His lawyer is Laura Ellis.
This was a very emotionally difficult case for all parties involved, and our thoughts are with the deceased family. Ultimately, Her Honour carefully weighed the evidence, and her determination ultimately was that this didn't rise to a criminal standard, and she was left in reasonable doubt.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
War in the Middle East has complicated local efforts to bring a piece of Canadian military history home. Sean Irvin has more on the aircraft's current location and what it's going to take to transport it here.
Volunteer John Ducharme preps markers for placement on a vintage aircraft inside London's Jet Aircraft Museum. The facility is home to restored Royal Canadian Air Force jets, save for a few, including the CF-104 Starfighter. But a successful fundraiser last fall generated the funds needed to source a Canadian-built jet from Greece. Then war got in the way. Ducharme arrived in Greece just as a missile fired during the U.S.-Iran conflict struck Cyprus.
Well, that just shut everything down because they thought, well, if they go there, they could come to mainland. So they shut all the air bases.
The president of the Jet Aircraft Museum was surprised when he got the call.
I was already worried by the time he contacted me to say Greece is on high alert and he's not getting to the places he wanted to go.
And that quickly became a concern for the museum and the over $60,000 it had raised for the project. The nonprofit knew another trip would have to be made. Thankfully, several days later, the Hellenic Air Force agreed to let Ducharme visit 2 of the 6 bases he'd hoped to see. One contained a Starfighter the museum wants to get its hands on.
It was Canadian, the last Canadian Starfighter that's there. That's in one piece.
But the parts list and a second aircraft will have to wait until the next time. The cost to ship the permanently loaned aircraft back to Canada has risen, again due to fuel hikes caused by the war.
Crate them, put them in the container, bring it back here, uncrate them, and then reassemble them.
Still, the planes, decommissioned over 30 years ago, won't move until the Greek government gives the all clear.
We're waiting for the Greek Air Force to say, you're welcome to come back and have a look at what you've asked for.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Still to come, mystery country concerts in Stratford. We look ahead to the Nashville takeover. Canada's main stock index was up on strength in base metal and technology stocks. The TSX gained 218 points. In New York, the Dow fell 270. The Nasdaq added 80. The Canadian dollar was down 0.02 cents today. On commodity markets, gold lost more than $30 an ounce. Oil dropped $1.30 a barrel. London's unemployment rate rose last month, now the highest in the country.
The regions in southwestern Ontario are particularly being hard hit by the trade volatility and really the trade uncertainty with the United States. Of course, what's making this even worse is the geopolitical tensions as well, too. So these numbers are very, very concerning.
Stats Canada figures list London's unemployment rate at 9.1%, citing 3,000 jobs lost in March. It was 8.8% in February. The national rate remained at 6.7%, as did Ontario's average at 7.6%. The provincial government is introducing legislation meant to get new teachers trained faster. The proposed changes include shortening teacher education from 2 years and 4 semesters to 1 year delivered through 3 consecutive semesters. There would also be higher pay for mentor teachers who take on novices, while adding people who already have experience working with kids. Education advocates have expressed skepticism, though.
We know the reasons they're not in the classroom is because of the working conditions, which are directly related to the learning conditions of the students that are in front of us.
The bill will be tabled on Monday, which will also include long-expected changes to school board governance and where trustees will be maintained.
A massive cold front's been the trigger for some showers early this morning across the lower Great Lakes. Good evening. I'm meteorologist Gary Archibald for CTV News. But it has worked its way well to the south of the Great Lakes, pushing east. All of these showers extending as far west back in Oklahoma's panhandle, and moving east towards the Atlantic coast for New England, the Maritimes, and Atlantic Canada. We will see some showers through the overnight, potentially, but I think it's going to shape up to be a very sunny weekend to start. Saturday looks good. Sunday, some showers coming and warm temperatures. I'll break down what you need to know just ahead.
Welcome back, meteorologist Gary Archibald with me tonight. Gary, hinting at what sounds like a sunny Saturday for us to kick off our weekend.
Carlyle, good evening, my friend. It will be sunny and a seasonal day, what we would expect. And then things get really warm, but rainy. I'll break that down for you in moments. But first, a very important announcement. It's about the Princess Margaret Lottery. It's a big one, of course. The early bird prize deadline is this midnight tonight. It's the last chance to be entered into the $2.6 million prize draw. It's a Halliburton lakefront cottage plus $50,000 in cash nestled on the tranquil shores of Halliburton Lake. You'll love calling this stunning post and beam cottage home. Here's a tip. Buy early, win more. There are 11,000 prizes to be awarded, valued at over $11 million, including the grand prize built by Siegel Homes. It's an $8.5 million package, a Thornhill show home, plus $500,000, yes, $500,000 in cash. The home comes fully furnished, professionally designed, and landscaped. You can buy online at princessmargaretlotto.com or call 1-866-631-1234. Okay, so big contest, which is fantastic. The weather, warming up. That's great too, but rain's on the way, and that could put a damper, pun intended, for next week. I think we'll see extended cloudiness. Speaking of warm temperatures, relatively speaking, we are warming up. It's almost mid-April, and we would expect to see double digits for daytime highs, case in point, for April the 10th. The average high in London is 10. We reached 9. Not bad. The low was 5, above seasonal. We'd normally see 0 degrees through the overnights. Early morning, pre-dawn freezing temperatures would be average at this time of the year. Cold front sweep. We saw some showers across southern Ontario. It's pushing the rains right through the heart of the Ohio Valley, further east towards the Atlantic coast. In its wake will be a bit of a clearing. I think it's going to be quite sunny across southern Ontario for tomorrow. I think temperatures will be in that 10 to 12, maybe even 13 degrees Celsius range. But there's your clearing before the showers move in. Upper Michigan into central and northern Ontario. In fact, parts of northern Ontario will see snow and a spring mix of snow and rain showers, in fact. Right now, this graphic not showing much of anything. In the next 24 hours, we are dry because of that sunshine and the ridge of high pressure that should take hold. However, under clearing skies, we're going to lose whatever heat we have at the surface, radiates upwards into the atmosphere and out into space. And that's why we're looking at some cold air moving in. Could see some frost on the ground. Minuses possible not just in London, but towards Grand Bend, Mount Forest, our friends in Shelburne, Wyerton, Owen Sound, Tobermory. Tomorrow, sunshine, but it's a chilly start. Sunny at 8 a.m. Feels like about -7. The actual temperature -1. We'll be up to 7 through the midday and 10 degrees in the afternoon. Some areas will be a little bit warmer than that within the city limits. Take a look at the next 7 days I've prepared for us. Daily maximums and minimums expected. Chilly starts the next couple of days. Much warmer during the afternoons, but the caveat to this is unsettled weather with showers. 18 followed by what? 16 rather, then 23, 20, 21, 20. The Midwest will follow suit. Sunny on Saturday, showers, and much warmer on Sunday, and holding on to 20s. Look at this. Wow, that's impressive. Keep the umbrella nearby. Let's look at your weather long range. Have yourselves a good night and weekend. Carlyle?
Thank you, Gary. We have the latest update tonight from City Councillor Elizabeth Pelosa sharing her health journey during chemotherapy, including a recent health scare and a gift from the local Victoria's Quilts branch.
This quilt was made by Arlie, one of our volunteers.
Beautiful. And a nice soft back. We put a flannel backing on all of them because it's extra warm.
Chemo is cold. The rooms are cold. So it's nice to have something to wrap up in and be comfortable.
Victoria's Quilts Canada, we hope this quilt brings you comfort and support in this difficult time. You are not alone.
There's people across Canada who are doing this. Maybe they've been touched by cancer. Maybe someone in their family's been touched by cancer.
A week after my nephew had passed away from cancer, a friend of mine and I decided that we were going to become involved. When something hits close to home, then you really start to think, well, how can I give back? And this is how we give back.
It's so grassroots. It's such a good cause. I just felt I needed to get involved.
It's a gift of love from someone who doesn't even know you.
We rely on fabric donations. We rely on monetary donations.
This is how we are able to provide the quilts at no cost to either the person ordering the quilt or the person receiving the quilt.
When you're sitting there getting chemo, you know that the bad days are about to start. So to have something reminding you that you are in someone's thoughts and that they cared and you're not alone is going to be such a huge help. My Easter was not as intended. Got to spend Saturday evening and Sunday morning in a merge. From blowing my nose, it sometimes bleeds, managed to get an infection.
But how are you feeling today?
Apprehensive. I got IV antibiotics at the hospital, got sent home with more antibiotics to take orally. But this week coming up is Chemo Friday. So waiting to see if my blood work passes the checks and balances with my oncologist.
How much is this on your mind?
A lot. This would be round 4 of 8. So this is my almost halfway point. So just, it's a schedule. I have months and months ahead. So any delay is just going to push back other plans or hopes of this wrapping up.
Pure Country 93. London's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's Big 50K Payday.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca. Finally tonight, it's a country music takeover in Stratford. Several venues are hosting singers across the city, but as Karis Mapp reports, performer identities have been kept secret.
Just look at the front door.
Singer-songwriter Timothy Miles with a sneak peek of what you'll hear across Stratford this weekend as the second annual Nashville takeover brings a taste of Music City to the Festival City.
We take over towns all across Canada and turn them into Nashville, basically.
We got a lot of artists having a grand old time again.
Last year, Collingwood and Port Stanley played host as multiple artists got up close and personal for fans. This year, Stratford is one of a dozen Canadian communities being taken over thanks to its big response to a social media campaign.
We launched like a nationwide Facebook campaign so people get to nominate their town. So they DM us, they comment on the post. It's just such a vibrant community, lots of arts, lots of support for the arts.
Grayson Mills is one of 8 Stratford venues hosting the already sold-out performances.
We're doing some fun food like taco bars and some street meat and different things like that as well too, just to kind of play up that whole Nashville vibe and the theme.
And there's a big twist. People attending the shows still don't know who they'll be seeing.
All the lineups are secret. We can recreate that experience of walking into a random songwriter bar in Nashville and discovering these artists that you had never heard before.
Turn off the TV.
This year, Timothy Miles, the only artist revealed so far.
The thing about Nashville is that it's a collaborative spirit when you're down there, and you get to see that here in this festival, especially at the late night jams, where everybody's coming together and collaborating as one unit.
Karis Mapp, CTV News, Stratford.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a great weekend.